We have had a lot of conversations over the last few weeks about the show, our workplace, and what we want for the future. We have made the necessary changes.
Ellen wanted this to be perfect. Her and her producers and her writers, they clearly spent a lot of time and put a lot of thought into this. They want to do this and they want to move on and move forward.
She's around for too long.
James
Fallon,
Corden.
all these people, walk away. You've been famous forever. Walk away. Like, eventually, everybody, they're just going to figure it out.
Oh, I'm not supposed to touch you because I go like this, and I'm like, oh, I'm not supposed to touch you. Like, you hear me saying it's right here. See, I'm touching her right now.
Okay, let's see.
Fantastic. All right.
You said I shouldn't touch you.
Yeah.
I learned that things happened here that never should have happened. I take that very seriously, and I want to say I am so sorry to the people who were affected.
Phony, liar, hypocrite. That's my reaction. She's known about this for 17 years. She's created this culture. I was there from day one. We were all petrified of her. She was not nice.
They're like, if you touch her, you'll be escorted off like mid-show. We don't care. I was like, okay. And then I touched her on accident. I was like,
That's a
Ellen is
rough
like
one.
an old.
But it's a rough one now.
It's a rough one now because she was running Abu Ghraib in the back of her show.
It's so weird when you see, like, a lot of people saying that someone who seems so nice is not nice at all.
She doesn't seem nice, but that people have a very poor judge of character. She doesn't seem nice. It seems forced.
I know.
I'm sure that most of you at this point in your life have seen Ellen's show at least once. Do keep in mind that this show has won 17 People's Choice Awards and has been very popular among the public. In case you do not know, it's basically a talk show where Ellen DeGeneres interacts with celebrities and there's banter of all sorts. In her show, Ellen comes off as a funny, interesting, and kind personality. 2020, however, was not good to Ellen or her show. Watch this video till the end to see how hard Ellen got hit and what allegations are being leveled against her.
And then there was an investigation. I learned that things happened here that never should have happened.
We all wish Ellen really was as kind, nice, and positive as she appears in the show. But unfortunately, that does not seem to be the case. Remember that this show has gone on for over 2 decades, aired 3,000 plus episodes, and has employed more than 1,000 people. When the entire world was about to go on lockdown in March, a Dutch beauty blogger by the name of Nikkie de Jagger was about to change Ellen's life. Having appeared on her show in January, Nikkie made some comments in a Dutch talk show that the show had been far from positive for her. She said that the warm and friendly atmosphere presented in the show had nothing to do with reality. Such comments could have been brushed off as they were coming from a single person. But what came next was no less than a storm for Ellen, as hundreds of people came forward to tell a similar story as Nikkie. Everyone seemed to have been mistreated in some way. Before we move forward, why don't you take a second and like this video? As the world entered a lockdown phase almost everywhere, Twitter users began posting an agreement with this accuser. It wasn't until April, though, that a massive thread was started by Kevin T. Porter, who said he would donate $2 to charity for every story on Ellen's show. In case you're wondering why such an issue was never revealed before, I think it has a lot to do with the fact that a person as powerful and influential as Ellen can effectively zero out your chance in the entertainment industry if she wished. Now, with hundreds of people standing together, I don't think that'll be the case, but it can definitely be incredibly hard to come forward as the first person. As it turns out, the response to that thread was overwhelming. At the start, it was the little things really. One girl was 15 when she joined Ellen's contest of making a bust of her. She said that she made one with all the love and it was given away to a random person in the show with $500 attached to it. The artist never got her credit. Similarly, a person serving Ellen's food got reported to her company by Ellen for having a spot of nail polish on her hand, almost getting her fired. If I were Ellen, I would have swept these allegations under the rug as being an odd experience, but people just kept coming forward. Feel free to comment below what you thought of Ellen's show before, and if these allegations change your mind now. Make sure you also reevaluate that position by the end of this video. So everyone, I'm not really the biggest fan of cancel culture. I think some of these stories aren't really that big of a deal. There were angry tweets about Ellen comparing her COVID isolation experience to prison. People definitely got worked up over that. I think those examples are people jumping on the bandwagon. A new employee of Ellen's show got told by an older employee that she needs to remember that Ellen picks someone new to pick on every day. If one lets that day pass, she'd choose someone else the next day. The Twitter user then said she found that to be extremely true. Also, imagine that while this was going on, her employees start tweeting about not getting paid during quarantine. And it was April by this point. However, these kinds of tweets show a clearer picture of how Ellen may have a toxic work environment and a toxic personality. Ellen did not send a detailed response until July. Keep on watching to see exactly how she reacted. During this time, her old bodyguard came forward, saying that he had worked to protect multiple celebrities in his life, and Ellen was the only person who had never said hi to him. Similarly, an employee said that she had said hi to Ellen for months, and she never even acknowledged her existence. That is definitely rude. It was also revealed that she once straight up called Steve Jobs to complain that the font of iPhones is too small. Entitled much? An Australian show host, Breen, revealed that he was told to not look at, talk to, or do anything to interact with Ellen during the show.
Producers called us aside and said, okay, this is how it's going to work here this morning. You'll be sitting in this chair here, and Richard, you'll be sitting in this chair here. Neil, no one's to talk to Ellen. So you don't talk to her, you don't approach her, you don't look at her. She'll come in, she'll sit down, she'll talk to Richard, then Ellen will leave.
His job was to sit quietly and let Ellen talk to the other guest, after which she would leave. This is exactly what happened, he said, and he wasn't even greeted. Breen said that he couldn't even comment on how nice or not nice she is, as she never took out a second to meet him on her own show. At this point, several instances of racism have also been reported. Now let's get into Ellen's detailed apology. Please give this video a like if you are enjoying it. By the end of July, Ellen must have felt that she had to respond to these allegations. Her response was whatever a good PR team would encourage her to say. She said that the allegations represented the opposite of what she had intended for the show to be, and that's the opposite of what she stands for. She did say she was sorry for how things had been going, and it also surprised her to learn about them. There were hints about Ellen not being able to micromanage every single employee, signaling the blame to be put on other producers. But the fact that most of the complaints were actually directed at Ellen herself did little to solve her PR crisis. Ellen also said that an internal investigation was launched and that it would be made sure for the future that such things did not happen again. Ellen said, and I quote, "Obviously something changed, and I'm disappointed to learn that this has not been the case, and for that I am sorry. Anyone who knows me, it's the opposite of what I believe and what I hoped for our show." I honestly don't think that this is what a person who is trying to accept responsibility for their actions would actually say. If it were a handful of people coming forward, I might have agreed, but the sheer number of responses speaks that positivity is clearly not what Ellen stands for. Since then, more people have come forward sharing how Ellen had screamed at them or acted stone cold or just completely rude. Many people agreed that Ellen made all the guests eat gum from outside her room, and if she ever felt that someone smelled bad, she told them to go have a shower. Most people seem to agree that it was not that Ellen was some kind of killer monster who had committed unimaginable acts, but she is a somewhat selfish person who is quite entitled and lives in her own bubble. The fact that she gives respect to only the top brass of celebrities is quite eye-opening. One YouTuber said that she had millions of subscribers on her channel, but Ellen did not even allow a private washroom for her, and she wasn't allowed to use the Jonas Brothers washrooms. While allegations like these are nothing in comparison to the more serious ones, they definitely help paint an actual picture. Now it is being rumored that Ellen might lose her job to James Corden. Thank you for watching, everyone. Do remember to subscribe to the channel. More importantly, you must let us know how you feel about Ellen's show and all these people leveling allegations against her. Would you still watch her show, or is it going to depend on something else? Remember to stay safe and have a great day.